Hey family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street. Okay, it won't be acknowledged. So family, yeah, in this video, Spirit is guiding me to get into the topic on us trying to consider and look at ourselves and our lives, right? And give some thought to what we actually believe in our lives it is that we need, and what it is we want. So what is the difference between the things we think we need, or the things we know we need, and the things that we want? And where have we made our lives become heavier by, over time, through our educational, our system, our familial programming, and the things that you've been told over your lifetime, you know, you must do, you must have, you know, so suddenly it becomes a need, a dependency, even though maybe a lot of those things, if we reconsider them properly, they're actually wants, right? They're extras. They're things that, you know, if we really considered, we could do without, if it was do or die, right? There was an exercise that over time Spirit had put me through, where I was guided one day. Spirit told me, make sure that you have a bag packed. Make sure you have a bag packed with everything that you need, okay? And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? What do I need? What am I going to pack in the bag? You know, everything that I need. I didn't fully understand it, but Spirit said, just make sure you always have a bag packed with everything that you need. If you had to go immediately somewhere one day, and there were things that you definitely needed, what would you have in your bag? How, what, you know, would you be able to grab this bag and just go? You know, it really gave me something to think about. Huh, I've never ever thought about having a bag always packed with the things that I need. I don't know why Spirit is saying this to me, but okay, let me get a bag pack that I need. And then I started asking Spirit, are you saying a suitcase? A suitcase, a big one, a small one? Like, do I pack a whole bunch of clothes? Where would I go? What would I need? I couldn't understand this exercise, but I was told, make sure you have a bag packed with everything you need. So, you know, when Spirit speaks and Spirit tells me to do something, I do it because I know that at some point there's a reason I was told to do it. Even if it's months down the line, I'm never told to do anything or guided to do something without there being some reason or method behind what at that moment thinks of, what at that moment feels like it's a moment of madness, right? So yeah, Phie went, and I got a suitcase out. I thought about everything I could possibly need. So I was like, okay, I would need clothes, I would need my documentation, I would need shoes, I would need my, you know, all the things you would pack into a bag and think you would need if you're going on a trip somewhere. And yeah, at the end of that packing, I had a medium-sized suitcase, definitely, well, a size that you would have to check in at the airport, right? I had that size of a suitcase packed with the things I thought I'd needed, the things I thought I would need. There were clothes, there were, you know, everything. There was some hair stuff, there was stuff in there. And it was also shortly after I had to give a whole bunch of my other bigger stuff up that I had in my home. So it was a bag I packed that just, you know, it had the clothes, it had it had the stuff that I thought I would need if I was to go and travel somewhere. So, you know, I had the bag, I packed the bag, I shoved it, you know, out of the way there. So if I ever needed to take the bag and go, it would be there, it would be ready for me. I would just have to maybe put a few essentials in there, like, you know, my toothbrush, toothpaste, creams, like whatever else it was. And I mean, I did pack into the bag some extra cream, you know, because I need cream. I'd need hair oil, so I put a extra bottle of hair oil in there, and you know, I put some plugs in there. I put the stuff that I put into the bag if I was to go somewhere. Anyway, months went by, and as the months kept going by, Spirit somehow kept on guiding me at different times back to the bag. I was guided back to the bag, and every time I was guided back to the bag, I was guided to take something else out, to let something else go. So it got to the point where more than half of the clothes that I had put in there, I was guided to let go of. And after letting them go, I would sit and think about it and be like, I guess I didn't really need all those clothes if I had to go somewhere and only take what I needed, right? Okay, so maybe that was a bit of an excess for a need only situation. The bag was put to the side, and you know, sure enough, another month or two later, I was guided back to the bag, and to the point where I was guided to let go of so much that I had initially packed into the bag that I believed was a need, but in the end turned out to be a want that I was programmed, or I had programmed myself, or was programmed by someone or something on the outside to believe was a want that I was programmed to believe was a need, and think that I couldn't do without, right? And yeah, at the end of it, I got to the point where the bag ended up being a small carry-on bag that had the most important things that I couldn't do without. If I had to grab a bag and be on my way immediately somewhere one day, and you know, it was like the important documents, it was things like my journals, even the shoes and the slippers that I had packed in, I was guided to let go of. Spirit was like, when you leave, you'll have shoes on your feet. It's not a need. Okay, so I'd also let the shoes go, right? There were certain things like the extra cream and the extra hair product and whatever else I had extra that I had stuffed in there. I was guided, let it all go. And yeah, then it got to a point where I was made to sit and contemplate and really think about my life in its entirety, and recognize how a lot of the things that we as individuals weight our lives with, because we think that we need a lot of things, which really, if we take the time to consider and recognize our attachments to a whole bunch of things that are wants that we have turned in our lives to needs because they gave us some illusion of security, some illusion of stability. Somebody on the outside gave us a compliment, so we developed an attachment to it because we have now decided that it's, you know, it forms a part of our identity in some way. You know, it gives me brownie points with the external world, with society, right? It truly over time was a bit of a humbling exercise to recognize that I don't need much. The wants over time in my life had become something that became an unconscious excess of material things, an unconscious illusion of needs that was, that became something that, it was an excess. Now the carry-on bag, the little small suitcase that I wouldn't even have to check in at an airport, has the most essential stuff that I would need to get me through, have me easily move, walk, run, wherever I would have to go, or whatever it is I might have to do if that situation ever came. Spirit just said, make sure you have a bag always packed with everything that you need. Where have your wants taken over your ability to save? Where have your wants that have become needs taken over your ability to be grounded in the decisions you make? Where are you transferring your idea of wants that, or your idea of needs that are actually wants onto the next person, onto your children, onto your spouse, onto, other family members that are actually luxuries and, comforts that when push came to shove, or when it becomes a life or death situation, are things that we should be able to easily let go of. And if you sit with yourself today, would you have an easy time going through that exercise? Or would you need a few months of letting go of things bit by bit like I did? Because I'm telling you today, everything you think that you need, it's not everything you need. It's things that you want. It's things that make you comfortable. So I hope this has made you think a little. I hope it'll maybe in some ways help make your life a little more lean and reconsider the kinds of stuff that you allow to become a sort of pointless dead weight, stuff that you allow to give you anxiety if it isn't present, or something that you don't have immediate access to in your surroundings, when really you might be okay to be without. Something to think about, huh? So yeah, I mean, my example of the suitcase exercise is just something that can also be sort of applied to other areas of your life. And maybe even make leaving certain situations that you think might be hard to leave easier to let go, if you really consider if things that you're trying to hang on to and stay in a situation over because of what you think is a need that you might lose or not be able to get back in at some point in the future, or have attached your idea of how much you have had to work or expel your energy over to attain something that was a want that now you have turned into a need that is part of keeping you in something or a situation that maybe you should have been left a long time ago. Again, it's one of those things that manifest differently in everyone's lives, but the attachments to the dead weights are something that I think a lot of us go through, especially if we've been in the cycles of accumulation and attachment and haven't actually ever been confronted with situations of having to release, let go, and recognize what is a dead weight in my life and what isn't. Yeah. Anyway, I hope this has resonated. I will pick a card from the Ascendant Masters deck, okay? Masters, and see what Spirit has to support our conversation, or give somebody who's watching the video a nudge in the right direction, or not right, but in a direction to support them. Let's see. What have you got for us, Spirit? One card, please. One card, please, Spirit. We got balance, career, and home life from Isis. Let's see what the book has to say. Oops. Let's see what the book has to say on balance, career, and home life. You drew this card as a reminder to keep balance in your life. It speaks nicely to us also thinking about what it is that we live in, that we need, and living in the things that we want, right? Finding the balance. You can do this more easily than you may imagine. You already know which part of your life is lopsided. Yeah. I think that speaks perfectly to what we've been talking about. And you may be feeling symptoms of burnout from this imbalance. You can rapidly shift your energy in positive ways by devoting time each day to your priorities. Even 30 minutes a day spent in meaningful ways will lift your mood, morale, and motivation. Additional meanings to this card. Remember, if anything resonates here, then what I'm saying is for you. Play is a much needed requirement for you right now. Make sure that your needs are being met. Delegate work to others. Say no to unrealistic demands upon your time. Be honest with yourself and keep healthy boundaries in your work and home life. Spend more time devoted to activities that make your heart sing with joy. Yeah, so that was nice. I hope this has resonated with you, and if you have come this far and you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so on your way out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, family.